Hello, welcome on board. I'm Paolo Zavalloni from Gebo.ai, and I'd like to present you this new enterprise open source large language model retrieve augmented generation platform. It's a platform that can help your company to share your documents and knowledge with AI to have a better answer from it first. And after that, it delivers also to you chatbots and agents for your purpose. Okay, first, what is Gebo.ai? It's a platform that shares with generative AI the knowledge of your team. So let's the large language models speak exactly your language using the knowledge of your company in a secure way, of course. So, and how does it do it? First, once you install Gebo.ai, it enables you to connect it to all your document source like SharePoint, Microsoft OneDrive, the Atlassian Confluence, and Jira for tickets softwares in cloud or maybe in the future also on premise, and also with classical shared company shared file systems, also with GitHub or Git source versioning systems. So having a connection on all your document sources, Gebo.ai does the indexing of what you choose to share with it, with that's called embedding your documentation. So basically, it indexes all your documents to be used and searched by the AI. And after this indexation phase that happens with the frequency you can choose and program, shares your knowledge with the chatbots you choose to use. So, in a completely secure way, you can use your documents inside the large language models by letting them choose your way of speaking, but and also to help them generate something that is more close to your reality and with as far as less hallucination that we can. After the first setting phase, your users can be immediately be enabled to use the platform, and the platform it's installable on premise now. And okay, let's have a look on some use cases. For example, what can Gebo.ai do for you? It can let your users, your employees, your colleagues, being work on accelerated access to your documentation with the semantical search of your documentation, and with a direct access by the large language models to your documentation. The large language models can speak the language of your company. So, an interesting use case of it can be, for example, organizing a specific knowledge and chat for new employees, for your new colleagues. So you can cut the senior time that they are dedicated to help new employees or new onboarding people being integrated in the company. And in your team meetings, this software can help you to do a direct brainstorming with it, having access of all the company data and knowledge in a secure way, of course, because all the data is stored in your systems if you want, all the vectors that are pretty important in terms of security are stored in your vector database and not in the cloud. But of course, in the future, it will be also usable in the cloud, but not today. Another interesting aspect of use cases of it can be create customer support knowledge bases being powered by large language model. That, for example, if you have huge database of, if you had huge amount of documentation talking about your products, your technical details, how to install, I don't know, your mechanical or software or whatsoever, your customer can simply, by interacting with a chat, have access to your knowledge and being trained and being supported on the activity they want to use your equipment for or your software for. And even if you don't choose to use directly having access on it for your customer, you can choose to superpower your customer support team with it. So let's have a look at the software, our own Jira cloud account with the ticket and all the detail we are working with. So you can have your Confluence cloud or on-premise in this type of system installation, and of course your SharePoint and OneDrive system. Okay, so with Gebo.ai, now I can structure knowledge bases with the sub projects or item. Now I've already create a knowledge base. I can, okay, choose this knowledge base. Who can access it? For to be more easy to understand, I choose everyone uses as a default access here. And okay, you can create a sub-project, for example, Gebo.ai documentation and tickets. And now I will add to this part of a knowledge base of the software both a Confluence area. I try to go not very slow, otherwise you will get very bored. Okay, there's a technical part that typically your system administration can do, or one of your more trained in use of IT employees. As you can see here, that's my Confluence page with, of course, all the valid pages. And okay, now here in Gebo.ai, I choose exactly some of the spaces I want to integrate in the Gebo.ai knowledge base. After this connection, so I'm integrating both Gebo.ai with a specific area of Confluence, I can, for example, program when the software will synchronize again the informations, but now I'm not very interested to do it now. And okay, I can publish this data and documents inside the platform. Once I publish, what it happens is that the software starts to indexing the documents taken from Confluence. And of course, this action is not immediate, but that's programmed to be not immediate, because otherwise what happens is that the embedding large language model will get stuck I mean, we're using OpenAI embedding models here, and okay, if you create too much throughput to them in terms of network bandwidth, you will get discouraged to do it, and the connections start failing because OpenAI got some regulation in terms of higher to limit your bandwidth. So also, I had here the Jira tickets for the same project. And as you can see here, I have my Jira system with Gebo.ai, main story, etc., etc. And here I choose the Jira cloud system that's already inserted. I've already configured it. And here I can choose the tickets coming from the Gebo.ai Jira project inside Jira. So doing this, all the tickets will be published inside the Gebo.ai platform, and also in the future I can program when the software will synchronize with the systems. Now I add another project from SharePoint that it's a open I40 scheduler project. And okay, here I choose a SharePoint document repository I'm using specifically for this project. Okay, open I40 documentation from SharePoint. I choose the SharePoint system. And okay, here you can see my SharePoint section with OpenI40 software and documents, and also with other documents. And okay, here I will choose OpenI40. We also, it's shared documents within OneDrive. So if I do like this, all the internal site that's called OpenI40 and all the drive internally to that OneDrive structure will be published inside Gebo.ai. So now I can publish it. Okay. So sorry if I don't go too in detail, but otherwise this presentation will be the more boring presentation of your life and also of my life, because okay, it's quite a technical software because it's an enterprise solution. So there is some skill is needed to install it, but there is a manual for it, or you can directly contact me. And of course, it was about OpenI40. I already have embedded, so indexed all the Confluence documents and also the Jira ticket. Now going to the chat area. Okay, so to show you how it looks like the software by accessing it as a standard user, not with the administrative part. So being the real end user of the software, not an administrator, I have another account. So I enter as a standard user. And now you can see, for example, I can make some questions that are related to the documents I've uploaded before. So, for example, can you help me to install the Gebo.ai open source retrieve augmented generation platform? When you do this question, the software will directly choose which documents to use to give you a better answer, and so started to give you the information on how to do your task. So with this screen, as you can see, I've chatted to help me installing the Gebo.ai platform. The software, the Gebo.ai platform has found that in the documents there is something related, that is the Gebo.ai manual touch configuration. So it's one of the manuals I have in my Confluence space. And okay, the large language model has received your question plus the more relevant part of documentation being related to your question, and answers you with a more precise answer than you can do without your documentation, of course. So, for example, this can be a use case that is suitable for helping end user to install the platform. So, for example, it has extracted for the documentation the system requirements, the installation steps that are inside the documentation, and etc. etc. For example, each step that are suggested to install the software. So using, for example, the knowledge from the standard training of ChatGPT, and also or the large language model you want, plus the documentation, the software is able to add its training skill to the documentation itself, giving you better answer. On the visual interface, by clicking this button, you are not only searching inside the document, but you include this document in your questions. So you transform from a retrieve augmented generation to a chat with document session. And for example, I can question something that is inside the document. So, for example, which kind of operating system the documented platform, because of course I will include the document in the context, can be installed. On Linux, Unix, on Windows, and on all containerized systems. So I can remove this document from the chat. Also, another interesting feature of this software is that is specifically thought for enterprise knowledge bases. So by clicking this chat with docs button, you have access to the all the company shared knowledge, of course, that can be accessible from you. And For example, here I have the main algorithm from production scheduler we developed. Automatically, by including this document, I can question next, can you please, something that is inside the document. So I can search from a pretty elaborated question, and the system will match in contents of the document from a semantical point of view, and after giving you an answer using content from the documents. Or I can directly choose which documents working with, and let the large language model give me an answer related to those documents. With this tool, for example, I can take GitHub sources, private or public, choose as many source codes as I want if I am using a pretty large context, large language model. And for example, doing a documentation on an overview of all these classes together or all these files together. So there can be a lot of use cases for this kind of enterprise-wide knowledge base chat with documents. So can you please describe me the main algorithm and components of the OpenAI 40 scheduler you have in the document? And the software starts to speaking about how the components inside the documentation, of course, are explained to flow in the main algorithm. Okay, so going back to a general overview of the platform, we can have a look on the compatibility of it. So the Gebo.ai ecosystem is quite large because it includes AI providers such as OpenAI with O1, GPT-4, and XAI with Grok, Anthropic Claude, Gemini in the next future, Mistral AI, DeepSeek, all the NVIDIA cloud platform that is pretty interesting, honestly, because there you can try almost every open source or NVIDIA private or open source NVIDIA models. In the next future, we will publish also the Hugging Face connection platform. And of course, you can use almost all locally available on Ollama large language models. So these are in terms of large language model. In terms of documentation sharing systems, it can connect to SharePoint, OneDrive, Atlassian Confluence, and Jira for tickets. With the software versioning systems like GitHub, Git, or Bitbucket, and of course with Google Drive, Google Workspace in the next future. And going to the enterprise version, you will be able to use database systems with a largely enterprise integration, and of course also with agents and automatization workflows. What is interesting of Gebo.ai from the security point of view is that it can follow your security policy. Why? Because it can follow your security policy because you can install it on premise. You can, in the next future, choose to use it in a cloud, and you can do the mixture of the kind of security treatment that you want. For example, you can have a full offline system with large language model being offline, all your documents being in your network, and also Gebo.ai and vector database being in your network. And of course, you can choose to have everything in a cloud or some mixed path between them. So it follows with these rules all your possible security policies. So please visit Gebo.ai, try to install the Touch Preview, and we got also some installation instruction being available, and the Docker image is available on Docker Hub. So if you want to participate in the project, if you want to be a contributor, if you want to be, a founder or whatsoever, you want to invest in it. So mail me at paolo.zavalloni at gebo.ai. Thanks for watching.